Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lose the battle that no one else can see. It starts quietly, a burst of excitement, a fresh notebook, a new routine, a promise made with complete confidence. This time, everything feels different. You tell yourself that you are finally ready. You set your alarm. You organize your schedule. You write down your goals. For a few days, everything goes according to plan. You wake up early. You exercise. You study. You work on your dream. You feel proud because it looks like your life is finally moving in the right direction. Then one day, you wake up feeling tired. You skip your routine just once. You tell yourself it is only for today. Tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow comes with another excuse. One missed day quietly becomes two. 2 days become a week. Before you even realize what happened, the notebook is sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Your goals are pushed into the background again, and that exciting version of yourself slowly disappears. The worst part is not losing a few days. The worst part is looking in the mirror and wondering why you always end up in the same place. You begin to question yourself. Maybe you are not disciplined enough. Maybe you are too lazy. Maybe successful people are simply born different. Those thoughts feel real, but they are also completely wrong. The truth is far more surprising. Your biggest enemy has never been laziness. It has never been a lack of motivation. It has never been a lack of intelligence or talent. The real problem is that almost everything we are taught about consistency is backwards. We grow up believing that successful people wake up every morning feeling motivated. We believe they never miss a workout, never skip a study session, never struggle with self-doubt, and never lose focus. That picture is comforting because it gives us an easy explanation. If they are naturally disciplined, then maybe our failures make sense. But reality tells a completely different story. Many of the world's highest achievers struggle with the same emotions that stop everyone else. They feel tired. They lose motivation. They become distracted. They make mistakes. They fail. The difference is not that they never fall. The difference is that they know how to stand back up before failure becomes their identity. That is the lesson very few people ever learn, and it changes everything. Consistency is not about being perfect. It is not about winning every single day. It is about refusing to let one bad day become a bad week, one bad week become a bad month, or one mistake become a reason to give up completely. This simple shift in thinking has helped athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, writers, students, and ordinary people build extraordinary lives, yet most people never hear it. Because everyone is busy searching for motivation instead of understanding how real progress actually works. Motivation feels exciting, but it disappears faster than most people expect. That is why so many goals are abandoned before they ever have a chance to grow. There is also a hidden reason why staying consistent feels much harder today than it did years ago. Every day your attention is pulled in hundreds of different directions. Notifications interrupt your focus. Social media convinces you that everyone else is moving faster. Endless advice tells you to wake up earlier, work harder, hustle longer, and never slow down. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel overwhelmed. And recetas can parity in never slow down. The more pressure you put on yourself, the easier it becomes to quit when life refuses to follow your perfect plan. What if the answer is not working harder? What if the answer is changing the way you think about consistency itself? That one change can completely transform the way you approach your goals. It can remove the guilt that keeps pulling you backwards. It can replace frustration with confidence. It can help you build habits that actually last instead of disappearing after a few days. That is exactly what this video is about. By the time you reach the end, you will understand why motivation is one of the weakest foundations for long-term success. Why tiny actions often create bigger results than giant efforts. Why missing one day is not the real danger. How your identity secretly controls your daily actions. Why guilt destroys more dreams than failure ever could. And how ordinary people create extraordinary discipline without relying on willpower every single day. You will also discover simple ideas that are backed by psychology, but explained in a way that is easy to understand and even easier to apply in your own life. These are not complicated theories that only work in books. These are practical lessons that can change the way you think the very next time you feel like giving up. One small idea from this video could become the reason you finally stick with the goal you have been chasing for months or even years. So stay with us until the very end, because the final lesson brings everything together and could completely change the way you measure success from this day forward. If you are tired of starting over, tired of making promises you cannot keep, and tired of watching your goals slowly slip away, then this video was made for you. Welcome to our channel, where we break down powerful ideas into simple lessons that help you become stronger, wiser, and more confident every single day. If you enjoy meaningful content that helps you improve your life one step at a time, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. Now, let's begin the journey toward becoming consistent, not for anyone else's approval, but for the one person who matters most, you. The biggest lie about consistency is the idea that successful people never miss a day. That belief sounds motivating at first, but it quietly destroys progress. The moment you believe consistency means perfection, every mistake starts to feel like failure. You miss one workout, and you think the whole week is ruined. You skip one study session, and you tell yourself you will start again next Monday. You forget to work on your goal for one evening, and suddenly it feels pointless to continue. This is exactly how people get trapped in the cycle of starting over again and again. They are not defeated by one missed day. They are defeated by what they believe that missed day means. The truth is much simpler. Every person misses days. Every single one. Athletes miss training sessions because they get sick. Writers stare at a blank page without writing a single word. Business owners have days when nothing goes according to plan. Students lose focus before an important exam. Even the people you admire the most have moments when they don't feel like showing up. They get tired. They get distracted. Life gets busy. Unexpected problems appear without warning. The difference is not that they never fall behind. The difference is that they never let one bad day convince them to quit. They understand that progress is built over months and years, not over one perfect week. They return before excuses become permanent. That is the habit that changes everything. Coming back is more important than never leaving. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. Nobody stays balanced from the first attempt. You lose balance, you fall, you stand up, and you try again. If falling once meant you could never become a good rider, no one would ever learn. The same rule applies to every habit in life. Growth is never a straight line. Some days are great. Some days feel terrible. Some days you do more than expected, while other days you barely manage the smallest effort. None of that matters as much as your willingness to return. Your future is not decided by your worst day. It is decided by what you do after your worst day. People often think they need to erase every mistake before moving forward. But real progress does not work that way. Every time you come back after a setback, you are teaching your brain that quitting is not your normal response anymore. Over time, repeating the same behavior again and again makes it feel more natural. What once required a huge amount of effort slowly becomes part of your daily routine. That is how habits are built, not through perfection, but through repetition. The goal is not to avoid missing a day forever. The goal is to make sure one missed day never becomes the beginning of giving up. Missing once is normal. Quitting is what turns a small mistake into a permanent pattern. This leads to another mistake that keeps people stuck. Most people spend their lives chasing motivation. They believe they need to feel inspired before they take action. They wait for the perfect morning, the perfect mood, or the perfect burst of energy. They tell themselves they will start exercising when they feel motivated. They will study when they feel focused. They will work on their dream when they finally feel ready. The problem is that motivation behaves like the weather. Some days it shines brightly. Other days it disappears without warning. You cannot build your future on something that changes every few hours. Think about how many times you felt excited to begin a new goal. The excitement was real. You were full of energy. You made a detailed plan. You pictured the amazing results. But after a few days, that feeling became weaker. Nothing about your goal changed. Only your emotions changed. That is why motivation alone is unreliable. Your emotions are always moving. Some mornings you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other mornings you struggle just to get out of bed. If your actions depend on your feelings, your progress will always stop whenever your emotions change. That is why successful people build systems instead of chasing motivation. A system keeps moving even when excitement disappears. It removes the daily argument inside your mind. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably never wake up asking yourself whether you feel inspired to do it. You do not wait for a motivational speech. You do not watch videos to convince yourself. You simply brush your teeth because it has become part of your routine. It feels normal. It is automatic. Your goals deserve the same treatment. Instead of asking yourself every day if you feel like working, studying, reading, or exercising, build a routine that makes those actions part of your normal life. When your habits match your personal values instead of temporary emotions, staying consistent becomes much easier. You stop depending on feelings that come and go. You begin depending on actions that continue, no matter how you feel. Another reason people struggle is because they make promises that sound impressive, but are impossible to maintain. The excitement of a fresh start often pushes people toward extreme plans. They promise to work out for an hour every day, even though they have never exercised regularly before. They promise to read 50 pages every night, despite rarely opening a book. They promise to wake up at 5 in the morning, after spending years waking up several hours later. These plans feel exciting because they create the illusion of instant transformation. But after a few days, reality arrives. The workout feels exhausting. Reading 50 pages becomes difficult after a long day. Waking up early feels impossible when your body has not adjusted. Slowly, resistance grows stronger than determination. Then people blame themselves, when the real problem was never a lack of discipline. The problem was making the first step too difficult. Instead of trying to change your whole life overnight, make success almost impossible to avoid. Instead of 1 hour, exercise for 5 minutes. Instead of 50 pages, read 1 page. Instead of changing everything today, complete one tiny action. One push-up may not build a strong body overnight, but it builds something even more valuable. It builds the habit of showing up. 1 page may not finish a book, but it keeps your identity as someone who reads alive. 5 minutes may not complete your project, but it keeps your momentum moving forward. Small actions remove resistance because they silence the voice that says the task is too difficult. Once you begin, continuing often becomes easier than stopping. The hardest part is rarely the work itself. The hardest part is beginning. Every small victory tells your brain that taking action is normal. Over time, those tiny actions grow naturally, without forcing yourself through constant struggle. This brings us to one of the most powerful shifts you can ever make. Stop asking how to stay consistent. Start asking who you want to become. Most people focus only on results. They want to lose weight. They want better grades. They want more money. They want a successful business. Those goals are important, but they only describe what you want to have. They do not describe who you want to be. Your daily actions become much stronger when they are connected to your identity. A healthy person exercises because that is part of who they are. A reader reads because reading feels natural to them. A disciplined person shows up because that is simply what they do. Every action you take becomes a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Every time you choose to study instead of scrolling through your phone, you cast another vote for becoming a focused learner. Every workout is another vote for becoming a healthy person. Every page you read is another vote for becoming someone who values knowledge. No single action changes your identity overnight, but thousands of repeated actions slowly build a new version of yourself. One vote may not decide an election, but many votes eventually create a clear winner. Your identity works the same way. The more often you repeat a behavior, the more natural it feels. Eventually you stop forcing yourself because your habits become part of who you believe you are. Even with the best system and the strongest identity, there will still be days when you fail. Those moments are unavoidable. The real danger is not failure itself. The real danger is guilt. Guilt has ended more dreams than mistakes ever have. One missed day creates disappointment. Then disappointment turns into shame. People begin telling themselves that they have already ruined everything. They believe they have failed again. That thought becomes an excuse to stop trying altogether. A single mistake suddenly grows into weeks or months without action. The break becomes longer because every passing day makes returning feel harder. The truth is that your habit is never destroyed by one missed opportunity. It is destroyed when guilt convinces you that returning is no longer worth it. Learn to forgive yourself faster. Miss today if you have to. Then come back tomorrow. Life will always interrupt your plans. There will be unexpected problems, family responsibilities, illness, stress, and moments when everything feels difficult. None of those moments define you unless you allow them to become your identity. Treat yourself with the same patience you would offer a close friend. You would never tell someone you care about that one mistake means they should give up forever. You would encourage them to try again. Offer yourself the same kindness. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is the strength that keeps you moving after setbacks instead of staying trapped inside them. As your journey continues, there will also be moments when discipline alone feels too weak to carry you forward. Those are the moments when you must remember why you started. Every goal begins with a reason, but as time passes, that reason often fades into the background. Daily routines become repetitive. Progress feels slower than expected. Results take longer to appear. During those moments, pause and ask yourself a few simple questions. Why did I begin this journey in the first place? Who benefits if I keep going? What kind of future am I building through today's actions? What happens if I give up now? Sometimes the answer is not about achieving a goal. Sometimes it is about becoming someone your family can depend on. Sometimes it is about proving to yourself that your promises actually matter. Sometimes it is about creating opportunities that your younger self could only dream about. When your reason becomes clear again, your daily actions begin to make sense. The difficult days no longer feel meaningless because they are connected to something bigger than temporary comfort. Your excuses become smaller when your purpose becomes stronger, and every step forward reminds you that consistency has never been about doing everything perfectly. It has always been about choosing your future one ordinary day at a time. The life you want is not waiting on one perfect decision. It is waiting on the small choices you make every single day. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small it may seem, you become a little stronger than you were yesterday. One workout will not completely change your body. One page will not make you an expert. One day of hard work will not build your dream. But when those small actions are repeated again and again, they quietly create a life that once felt impossible. That is the real power of consistency. It works in silence. It does not always give you instant results. It asks for patience before it gives you rewards. Many people quit because they cannot see the progress happening beneath the surface. But just like a tree grows its roots long before anyone sees its branches, your efforts are shaping your future, even when nothing seems to be changing. Every day you choose to continue, you are becoming someone who can be trusted by the most important person in your life, you. That kind of trust is priceless, because once you believe in yourself, the goals that once looked impossible begin to feel achievable. There will still be difficult days. There will still be setbacks. You will still make mistakes. But now you know those moments are not the end of your journey. They are simply part of it. The only real failure is deciding that one bad day deserves the final word. As long as you keep coming back, you are still moving forward. Years from now, people may look at your success and think you were lucky or naturally disciplined. They will never see the ordinary days when you chose to continue, even though nobody was watching. They will never see the moments when you refused to give up after failing. Those quiet decisions are what build extraordinary lives. So when this video ends, do not wait for Monday. Do not wait for next month. Do not wait until you feel more motivated. Choose one small action. Do it today. Then repeat it tomorrow. Let that simple promise become the beginning of a new chapter in your life. If this video helped you see consistency in a new way, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we share practical ideas that help you grow, stay disciplined, and become the best version of yourself. Also, give this video a like, because it helps us reach more people who need this message. And share it with someone who may be struggling to stay consistent right now. Thank you for watching, and remember, success does not belong to the people who never fall. It belongs to the people who never stop getting back up. We'll see you in the next video.